Last season ended in the disappointment of a playoff defeat, but we've dusted ourselves off and it's time to make a plan that will hopefully lead to promotion at the end of the next campaign. Hello everyone and welcome to episode 9 of our Maidstone United save. As you know, in the last episode we suffered the disappointment of defeat in the playoff semi-final, which prevented us from reaching promotion to the National League. But we achieved our goals. We achieved our goal of finishing in the playoff positions. We've done well, and it was with a team that I'd inherited rather than I'd brought in. So the plan is that we're going to bring in better quality players for next season, keep the core of the team, bring in better quality and push for that automatic promotion spot at the top of the table. But for now, let's have a look back at the 2021-22 season. The new arrivals. There was a lot of new arrivals that I didn't actually bring in. I brought in Jamie Bradley Green, who finished the season with a 7.07. I brought in Luke Trotman, who finished with a 6.97. Liam Armstrong was a 6.84 and Ollie Tomlinson was a 6.81. I think that was the only four signings I made. I brought in Oguntayo as well, but he went back to Charlton quite quickly after he was brought in. Bradley Green has been the signing of the season, which was my signing. To be honest, I don't know how if Regan Booty, Jack Barr and Michael Phillips and Rory Deacon were the other 4 players that were brought in. I didn't bring those in though, but those are the 4 that we're building a team around for next season. I'm also going to see Bradley Green. Yeah, he's out of contract. Bradley Green will be one of the players who I try to extend. The results. Season results. The board have said it was a superb season for the Stones. They were able to sustain a successful playoff push to vindicate those that had tipped them for success before the season kicked off. So, it was a superb season. The board gave us a C. They're pleased that the team reached the first round of the FA Cup. So this is for the FA Cup, sorry. There was a minimum reach first round. Rory Deacon scored 3 goals. We ended up going out to Accrington in the first round. The FA Trophy, the less said about that, the better. Board are disappointed. I'm disappointed. We lost away at Wingate and Finchley in the second round. Moments to remember. Our biggest win was a 4-0 win over Slough back in November. The match to remember, according to these, was 2-0 away to Wealdstone in the FA Cup. And goal of the season was Alfie Pavey, whose goal against Dorking, which it was I think it was his only goal of the season for us. We don't want... That was their goal. And this was Alfie Pavey's goal of the season. Trotman to Olasanya, through to Barham. Pavey, beautiful finish. That was the goal of the season. And other than that, to be honest, I don't really remember many others. There was Ola Kobe scored a brilliant goal from a free kick at one point, and Sean Walters scored a brilliant goal from the edge of the area. But yeah, Alfie Pavey, goal of the season, and basically the only contribution he made during his entire stay at the club. The finances might not have been the best of seasons, but your prudence definitely helped the club's finances. The reputation is the same, hasn't gone up. We've got no new sponsorship deals, no new deals. Annual revenue was up, but then again, it's all up because there was nothing the season before. £45,000 earned on total merchandise sales. And there were 711 shirts sold. Booty was the most popular. Then Deacon, Barham, Luque and Hoyt finished the top 5. Hoyt never really played for us, but Booty, Deacon and Barham. Again, those names again, they who we're going to build a team around. How we lined up. Our best 11 for the season was pretty much how we lined up for the most part. It was Hadler in goal, even though he only made 9 appearances for us. Tom Hadler made a big impression in his time at the club. Luke Trotman on the right, Bradley Green and Ella Kobe as the centre-back pairing. Like I said, Bradley Green I'm going to try and get to sign a contract. Ella Kobe, despite the fact that he is the only team leader and our club captain, he's 36 years old now, so it's probably time to say goodbye to him. Binham Williams on the left again. We'll be looking at replacing him. Phillips, Booty and Corn in the midfield. Torn on whether or not to keep Corn. Deacon, Luque and Barham. Luque, a 7.02, is another player that we may look to try and keep hold of. 16 goal contributions and 38 starts, 14 assists, 2 goals. Formation 4-3-3 wide. The accolades, the awards for the season. I won 2 Manager of the Month awards for October and December in the National League South. Your hard work and effort paid off on the pitch, and such a feat didn't go unrewarded at our end of season award ceremony. Player of the season, fans player of the season, Regan Booty. Young player of the season, Regan Booty. Signing of the season, Jamie Bradley Green, as we've already seen, and Alfie Pavey, the goal of the season, as we've seen. Jack Barham, top goal scorer with 29 goals. Joan Luque with 14 assists, was the most assists. Most player of the match awards was Jack Barham with 7. Regan Booty with the highest average rating of 7.4. And most passes completed per 90 minutes was Regan Booty with 60. So Booty was our top player, without a doubt. Barham scored the 29 goals, but I think Booty was the driving force from the midfield. We didn't get any competition awards added to the records, but obviously it's our first season, so they will change at some point. So that was our season. That was our 2021-22 season that saw us finish 5th in the league and go out in the playoff semi-finals. The top players we've held on to. We're going to try and hold on to the others. And that was it. And if we look ahead to next season, we can see that the club vision still want us to sign players under the age of 23 for the first team, work within a wage budget, sign players to sell for a profit. And amazingly, considering last season, the aim was to finish in the playoffs, which we achieved. This season, they want us to finish in the top half. So I'm not sure if the division is going to be seen as being harder than it was this season. And then just maintain a top half finish for the next however many years. Well, we want promotion. We don't want to just finish in the top half. We want promotion, but I'm going to accept the current vision because it puts me under less stress if we do have a bad run. The squad dynamics update, dressing room atmosphere is average, but obviously we've just lost in the playoffs, so it's not going to be an amazing atmosphere, is it? As previously mentioned, Ella Kobe, the only team leader, will be on his way. highly influential players will all be staying. Those 3 players will be staying. They've all signed new contracts. And hopefully one of those can step up in a team leader role. We'll look at their suitability to take over from Elokobi as captain. Excellent managerial support. End of season team meeting. We discuss plans. I don't like these team meetings at all. Already, what the board have said and what I'm going to say are 2 different things. We're going to try and make the playoffs. Oh, that's exactly the sort of reaction I was after. I didn't expect that. I thought there might be a couple of them that were like, oh no, that's too much. And I didn't want to say we'd finish in the middle of the table or top half of the table like the board want us to, because then players like Barham, Booty and Deacon will probably be like, oh no, we don't want to do that. We want to get playoffs. So that was exactly the sort of reaction I was after. I want them to all enjoy their breaks, and we'll discuss promises when they come back. Thank you all very much. Have a good break. And let's talk again at the start of next season. And that is what we're going to do. What's happening there? For some reason it won't let me thank them very much and tell them to have a good break. So we'll come back to that. New season team report. Jack Barnes 28 strikes, rank him second in the competition. Notable weaknesses. Basically what I said, left back, centre back, etc. But we're not going to have a squad anyway. If we go and have a look at the squad that we've got, and we look at contracts, other than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players, everyone else is on their way out the door. Like I said, I'm going to offer contracts to Joan Luque and Jamie Bradley Green. But other than that, Corn I'm torn on. I think we can get better than him. But yeah, it's going to be a whole new look team for next season. Reece Grant looked like he could be a decent player, but he missed 42% of the season. And I don't think I want to pay his wages for him to be injured again. The Maidstone squad now gone on holiday until pre-season begins. Players will report back for training on Monday, the 4th of July. Right. We'll get to the end of June, and when the squad completely leaves, and we'll have a look, see what we're working with. Although it isn't really going to be much. It's the 1st of July, and we've made a few moves in the transfer market, and we've decided to keep hold of a couple of players that we looked at possibly getting rid of. If we look at the squad, some players are on non-contracts. Sam Corn, Jamie Bradley Green, we went to offer them contracts, they wanted too much. Elo is 33, so we were going to get rid of him anyway. Reece Grant is a bit injury prone. So I'm going to keep him here until I replace him. Other than that, Sean Walters has signed a new contract, Luke Trotman has signed a new contract, and Joan Luque has signed a new contract. And we have some new players. If we look players in. I told you about McGlynn, Beach and Clark in the previous episode, so I don't need to run through them again. But we've got Adam Lovett, who has come in from Sutton, 23-year-old ball-winning midfielder, can also play as a defensive midfielder. Fringe player who could still improve at the minute. He scouted better than that. I know our scouts ain't great, but he scouted better than that. But he's a fringe player. So even if he sits on the bench and comes in and adds a little bit of depth to our squad. Brad House was scouted as an A-star player or A-plus player. Goalkeeper from Sutton. Was at Kettering on loan last season. Made 18 appearances. He was at West Brom for a long time. Apparently didn't actually make an appearance for them. So had spells at Chippenham and Kettering. And now we've taken him. Like I said, he was an A-plus player. It's only coming up three star at the minute, but he's going to improve. And Dan Mooney is an attacking midfielder on the right and the left. He's come in as a squad player as backup to Luke and Deacon. He can play anywhere on either side, can also fit in up front. So he's a good utility man to have to cover in the attacking positions. Our chairperson, retired. And that has led to a change in the club vision. We now minimum reached the playoff. Also reduced our wage budget as well. We were originally offered 13,000. It's gone down to 12,000 something. We've got £331 a week left in our wage budget. 17,000 in the transfer budget. So we'll have a little play around with that. 660. It's only probably going to be enough for two fringe players, two squad players type thing. The players that have stayed in the squad are all earning a lot more money than what they were. In last season, our top earner was on 600 a week. Boot is now on 9. Barham's on 8. Trotman, Phillips, Deacon are all on 650. Luke 550, and then we've got the fringe players. I'm going to release Grant. He's not going to play, so there's no point in keeping him. Bradley Green wanted too much money, so I'm going to keep him on a rolling contract. We could lose him at any time, but it keeps him here on the money that we had him on. He wanted to be considered, he's a squad player at the minute on £450 a week. He wanted to be considered an important player and earn like £800 a week. Wasn't going to happen. And the other ones, they don't earn a lot. So there's no point in releasing them just yet. Eliel or whatever his name is, I know that I've pronounced it wrong in every episode. He's considered an influential player and quite an important player for us. He's a 33-year-old Maltese international. But his age has put me off a little bit. I mean, last season, when he played for us, he averaged a 6.85 in 18 appearances. So he's a decent player to have around. But I'm not 100% sure about keeping him for another season. I know I'm going to have the same issue at the end of this season with everyone's contract running out again. But nobody will sign a contract extension longer than a year. We have a look at our competition in Vanarama National League South. We're tipped to finish. Wrong one. We're tipped to finish top of the table. Well odds on as well. Obviously, our new players that have been brought in, the squad that we've got, 1 to 10 is pretty much what Ebbsfleet were. But we're actually favoured. I think we're favoured more to win this league than what Ebbsfleet were last season. So that's something to look forward to, I suppose. And a lot of pressure now. There's a lot of pressure. Initially, at the end of last season, it was, finish mid-table. Now we've got to finish in the playoffs minimum, and the season preview is previewing us to absolutely run away with the league. Newly relegated sides from the National League, Dover and Weymouth. Weymouth are tipped to struggle. Dover are tipped to be in a battle for the last playoff place. And then the 4 newly promoted sides, the Metropolitan Police, Hornchurch, Carshalton and Truro. Let me say it properly. Are all tipped to be down near the bottom, but none of them are tipped to finish bottom. Welling are tipped to finish bottom. So yeah, we're making moves in the transfer market. We have players that we're looking at. We're scouting a couple of players, and we're tipped to win the league. So there's a lot of pressure on, but I think the players we've brought in are probably a better quality than what we had last season. We've still got our best players from last season. So, to be fair, we should do well. And I said I want to win the league this season. I'm going to now play through the rest of July and the beginning of August. I'm going to have a look, see if I can bring in any more players. And we will be back for the first game of the season against newly promoted Truro, in what should be a game that we should win quite comfortably. Give the new players a chance to show what they can do. It'll give the players that were already here a chance to show that nobody's going to take their place, and hopefully show the rest of the league that we are serious contenders for the title. And one thing I haven't mentioned so far, Hampton and Richmond lost in the playoff final. So Bath went up. Hampton and Richmond, we have to play again. Played them 3 times last season, lost all 3, conceded 11 goals. Don't need to worry about them till the end of September though. Our next thought even is bringing in a couple more players and getting the season underway. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed that episode, please do leave a like, comment below, subscribe to the channel, and hopefully I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.